these things. The last couple of days, have you liked what you've seen from your group?
Like I said yesterday, good practice, high energy, great meeting this morning, ready to go.
How's Tyson doing? Is he available?
He could be available. Everybody's available right now.
It's almost impossible to play with physicality, intensity for 60 minutes, but you believe it's important tonight to have a kind of killer instinct right at the bat to shut down the crowd?
I'd love to shut down the crowd by putting one in the back of the net right away. I think the important part is managing the puck early, and both teams. If you look at Game 1, the big mistake they made, and we made a big mistake in Game 2, and both teams took advantage of that. So, take advantage of what's there for you, and we know the energy in the building is going to be great.
I know you've tweaked some things in the power play, and I know you're not going to tell us what, but as far as what Montreal did they just do something different to interrupt your getting into the zone? Was it something different that they did?
I think their stand was good for sure. Got to give them a lot of credit. I just didn't think our puck handling, we didn't make the right decision soon enough on some of the entries, but you got to give them credit too. They got themselves in good position. They got their sticks in the right lanes. We've got to execute better than that.
Puck mistakes like that, is that pressure, is it the moment, or is it the crowd, or is it all that stuff?
I think it's a little bit of everything. A little bit of the, you got to capture the moment as a player, and you've got to make a split decision when you hit the line, which guy is open, or do we need to lay it behind and go to work? We lost possession of the puck a couple times even before we got to the blue line, which really affected that. So I think that maybe that's a little bit of pressure, a little bit of nerves.
Does Malstein ever surprise you? I mean, his glove is off, his finger's bleeding. He stays out there and winds up getting the puck out of the zone before he goes and gets it fixed up. I mean, does his effort ever surprise you?
No, I mean that's I think epitomizes just a playoff effort right there. He's got a hand that he can't use. He's got it behind his back. He's got one hand on his stick, and he's out there, and he's going to probably lay down. He would probably block the shot with the bad hand too if he had to. But that's the type of effort he's given us all year.
Lindy, Connor Timmins is a very good penalty killer. What in his skill set makes him so effective, I guess?
The best penalty killers read the next play. They know where the next play is going to be, and they're anticipating. And I think he's got a gift for that. Probably second, the willingness to, when they expose you, the willingness to block shots. He's great at getting himself in the lane and blocking shots.
Is that also a read, the way that he's so good at blocking those?
For sure. And I think, last part is getting the puck down the ice. When you have that split second to get it down the ice, he's been one of our better guys.
Lindy, your team has already split the first 2 games of the series. What's the key to taking control of Game 3 with that experience under your belt after the Boston series?
Just play our game. Play a quick game, make sure we're playing behind. Every team wants to make sure they get it deep. We need to get it deep. We need to get it below the goal line. We've created a lot of chances and a lot of opportunities. If you want to look at the Benson goal, just forecheck pressure. Get above them, force them into mistakes, and try to take advantage of that.
Lindy, you and your team obviously are familiar with this building. You said earlier what goal would help with the crowd. What do you expect in this place in a playoff game? How crazy is it going to be off the start?
Well, our building's been great. I think theirs will be equal. And I've been in this building before in the playoffs, and the energy is incredible. And I think it's something you've got to embrace. You get to play in, one of hockey's hotbeds, and you get to play in the playoffs, and the crowd is going to be tremendous.
You were confident in Tage after the game on Friday. What have you just observed about him in the last
I observed a great practice yesterday. Skated well, moved well. I mean, he's not happy with this game, and we've moved on. We've hit reset, and we're moving on to the next game.
Did you talk to him at
I
all?
did. Yeah.
When face-offs are challenging like they are for you, do you like to hold down on post face-off play like in the D zone and stuff like that, just to prevent whatever?
What do you mean by double down? just so I can answer correctly.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in your preparation with the team, like to make sure they're ready to defend.
Yeah, you know, I think it is something that we've talked about, how good they've been in the face-off circle, and you know, maybe sometimes it's not trying to win it, it's sometimes to create a 50-50.
You mentioned yesterday about Luke and you about how has he handled it? Because of course he was well known, but how has he handled everything so far?
He's been awesome. He's ready to go, and he's been the biggest supporter of line at the same time. Those guys have got along, all three of them, terrifically all year.
And who is starting tonight, and is Sam Carrick in the line?
We've got Thompson will be starting. I think Tuck will start too. Maybe Krebs.
And your goaltender?
We got it's going to be Ellis, UPL, or Lyon.
Is Sam Carrick in the lineup tonight?
Sam is available.
What can he bring to the team in terms of not only on the ice, but in terms of experience?
He can. I think we saw what he brought. He brought us some offense. He was good on face-offs, and his penalty killing was good for us. So his 5-on-5 play was excellent, and that's what he can bring.
You were asked about the first round, 1-1 after today, Montreal, Barcelona. You were so successful on the first round.
You know, I think we finished the year in a good place, playing really good on the road, and I think again the thing I talked about in Buffalo, we didn't manage the puck very well in the first two games. I mean, you look at the goals we gave up. The first goal, I think the third or fourth goal, where we're falling down and giving up big opportunities. You manage the puck well on the road and take advantage of opportunities. We're a team that could stay in a tight game and find ways to win.